Hello everyone. If you have multiple debts, potentially you must be spending thousands of dollars paying on interest rates. Usually the debts, credit card debts or car loans or student loan, those debts, they carry a very high interest rates. The credit card interest rates could be carrying up to 22, 23, up to 25% or even higher. So we're going to discuss a couple of strategies and spreadsheets to illustrate how you could be repay some of your debts so that you can quickly pay off your debts and come debt free. So we are going to discuss two strategies. One strategy is called the debt snowball method, in which you would be able to actually pay off some of your debts based on certain amount of outstanding balances. And the other strategy that we are going to talk about is that debt avalanche method. There is another basically strategy. If you have many debts carrying different amount of interest rates, so in this strategy, debt avalanche strategy, you pick up one of the the debt with the highest amount of interest rates, try to pay it off, and then try to pay off the next highest amount, and continue paying like this, and then you will be saving more and more amount of your outstanding debts, because the highest amounts basically that you're carrying, you're paying the interest rates. That money goes out of your bank account. That you should be saving the money instead of paying it paying for the debts. It's not helping you anyway. And the debt snowball. The snowball one we talked about is that you try to save the minimum amount of the debt, try to pay it off, then try to pay off the next the minimum amount, and keeps on paying. And of course, you have to do certain amount of budgeting. So the budget is that in each of these credit cards, you will have minimum amount of payments. So you should know how much will be your total minimum amount of payments from all these debts. And you have certain budgets. Say for example, you have a budget to pay off the debts for $1,000, and if your minimum payments are around $800, that means you will have about $200 left. So $1,000 minus $800, that is minimum payment, and you have a budget of 1,000, you have extra $200 you can pay it off. So in this strategy, we are going to discuss to you, out of this $200 that you could pay it off, what should be the strategy, discussing basically based on this debt avalanche and debt snowball methods, how you should be paying off all these debts. So we have these spreadsheets. I'm going to show you the spreadsheets. Please watch it, and hopefully this will be very helpful to understand how you should be preparing, strategize, pay your debts. If you like so far, please do click the like button and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And let's go to the spreadsheet. Right. So now we'll discuss about this debts reduction strategy. I had explained that I'm going to be setting up these spreadsheets. In this spreadsheet, I would illustrate, suppose you have many debts. You could have some debts from your credit card, say a Visa credit card or MasterCard. You could have some other loans like car loans or student loans. So in this particular few columns at the table, I have 4 debts with different amount of balances. The first one is $3,200 balance. The Visa card. MasterCard has small amount, $800. Car loans, say for example, you have $8,000. Student loan, larger amount, $17,300. All in all, you have $29,300 debts. And different interest rates. Some of the rates, say credit card, Visa is 21%, MasterCard 20%, and car loans, say 4.25%. Student loan 7%. So on an average, loan is about 8.17%. And then monthly payment, you could have different amount of monthly payment amounts, 135, different 350 for car loans. And to make the minimum payment every month, you need $751. And the percentage of these debts, 10%, 2.3%, like that, highest from the student loan, 59%. That adds up to about 100%. Your total amount of debts. Now, if you scroll down, say you have a budget of $1,000 to pay off your minimum payments. So the question is, what should be your strategy? So let's summarize this, all the debts. Total debts, you have $29,000 here. In here, average weighted average is 8.7. It's like a sum product function in the Excel. We do this. A minimum is basically like, so you take the total debt multiplied by the interest rate divided by 12, which will be your monthly average interest payment. And your total monthly payment will be this $751 minimum payment. And so if you have this budget of $1,000 here, I made it in yellow. So you have $751 minimum payment. So you're left with $249 you can pay extra. And if you have less than that, obviously you have to rebudget. Okay, so it's basically trial and error. Suppose you have $1,000 and you have a little extra to pay off, and this is a different allocation of all the debts. 59% is the highest, the student loan. Car loan is the green one, 27%. MasterCard of 3%, and this Visa 11%. So there are two different repayment strategies you could adopt. The first one is the debt avalanche method. So in this one, basically like you pay off the interest rates, the debt with the highest interest rates. Say for example, in this particular cases, 21% is the highest interest rate out of all the different interest of all the loans. You pay off that one. So in this spreadsheets, there is this index function and matching it. So I find out, okay, this is the highest amount of interest rates out of all your debts. And you can have as many debts. This spreadsheet is going to work that way. And this is your balance, $3,000 in here, and monthly payment is $135. So you could basically pay off this plus you have the extra payment of $249. So you can pay off that debt. So 384. So in a way, you are paying off the highest amount of interest rates. And then next month around, you could basically again adopt the same strategy, find the highest amount of interest rate, try to pay it off. Basically, like the highest amount of interest rate you pay off, you'll be saving more money because you're paying highest amount of interest. So you'll be paying less of your interest payments every month by paying off those debts first. Okay, so that is one of the strategy. It is called a debt avalanche method. And the second method is basically like what you do is it's called debt snowball effect, snowball method. So in this debt snowball method, you pay off this debt with the lowest amount of outstanding balance. So in here, out of all the different balance, I highlighted in yellow, 800 is the highest amount of payment that you paid off. So in here, I wrote the same function, this minimum balance with this index and matching function. And 20% interest, $16 monthly. And so you have basically $16. So you'll be left with 264 extra dollars. Basically your new payment amount will be this after you pay off this this amount. And then next time around, basically when you come, you pay off this lowest balance again and keep repeating this. So because you'll be motivated that you have you suppose you pay the 800, so you pay $265 a couple of times, one of your debt is gone, and you'll feel a lot better that okay, out of all these 4 debts I had, one of that is like completely like eliminated, and you'll get more motivated to pay off the more debts like that. So it's a sort of like psychologically feeling better. But thing is this, you need to get out of all the debts. That's the point. And that will be you'll be able to help you paying all of your interest rates, and instead of that you'll be able to save your money, and basically you go in a better path to build your portfolio or your financial status. You never win by paying interest rates on the loans. So try to like pay it off as much as possible. I given you two different strategies. Both of the strategies are basically like people prefer either one of these methods, but certainly could help you pay off your debt. Hopefully you like this video, and if you did, please subscribe and also hit a like button. I'd really appreciate, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.